Hey, hi. Good evening, everyone. So I'm Prasad from LetsUpgrade. So sorry for the delay, guys. First of all, like what we are like 5 minutes delay. So we had some technical glitch, and yeah, I'm looking all your chats. Hey, hi, Mohammed. Hi, Prathamesh. We have what around close to 200 students. Okay, so let's keep an aim of around 300 students for this. 300 to 500 is what we're looking minimum. That is the count we are looking, right? So to start off with, a very good evening to all the students who are present here. And I welcome you all to Let's Upgrades one more program like we're starting today, that is Python and machine learning. Okay, so next 5 days. Okay, so starting from today, 5 days, you're going to learn what is machine learning and how you can get started with machine learning, right? Very excited, great, right? So before we move it, right, before you start off with the learning, as always, I'm here. I'm not going to teach you. My job here is to just onboard you guys and tell you how, as a student, you have to follow along for next 5 days, where to mark your attendance, how to enroll if not enrolled, and how to get your certificates, how to submit your assignments and everything, right? So let's just get quickly started with the whole process so that I can introduce you to your trainer for the whole session, that is Megasham sir, right? So he to just give a quick introduction, and of course he'll introduce himself again later. So Megasham sir has been teaching with us from quite a long time right now, and he's basically specialized in teaching our full stack students. Okay, so if you are looking to get into a good job in machine learning, so he's the best person to you can start your career with learning with, right? Yes, you have to do attendance. That is kind of the attendance which is like a which actually gives us a feedback on a daily basis that where we are doing wrong, what is that we can improve. So that is the kind of, you can say, a feedback, a live feedback for us, right? So here is the link. Okay, so let me just quickly head over to that screen where I can show you how things work and how you guys have to follow, right? So just let me pull in that screen. Right. So first of all, to just show you guys, this is the website. Okay, so I'm not able to see you guys right now, so I'll come to the chat a bit later. So first of all, as I understand, like a lot of students are directly joining us on the YouTube, like from your suggestions, or someone would have sent you a link. So first step is to register for the program. Okay, to get the certificate, you have to register for the program. And how you can do it? Just visit letsupgrade.in, head over to the program section, find the program which you're currently listening to or attending, that is Python and machine learning bootcamp. I'm just going to head over to enrollment, and just you can see all the curriculum and how your certificates are going to look like. To just give you a quick overview, you are going to get a certificate in collaboration with NSDC, ITM Edutech Training Private Limited, and Google Developer Groups Mumbai, right? And of course, let's upgrade. So this is how your certificate is going to look like, with your name, your started and date, the number of hours, your very unique ID which you can verify on our verification portal, right? So now let's head over quickly to enroll. So you can use any of the given buttons. So I'm just going to use the first part. Sorry. Yeah. So now I've enrolled. All I can do is go to start learning, or of course, I can just head over to my program sections from here. I have to just click on my profile and head over to my programs. It will load all the programs which I'm a part of. Okay. So now this is the current program which I am enrolled into, right? So now just to understand what is this, what are those components, what is there so many things here. So first of all, the program progress, that is how much you can say you have attended the program. It is calculated automatically based on the number of days and the assignments which are given and everything. So to get a successful completion certificate, you have to score. You have to basically have more than 50% of progress. So to get further information, if you are not able to understand, so you have to just hit on the question mark and it will give you that first thing. Your progress is based on attendance marking and assignment submission, and of course the certificate will be available to download after the program has ended. That is, on the last day of the program you are able to download the certificates. Before that, you will not be able to download the certificate. Now currently, since my program progress is 0, it is showing me you are not eligible to download the certificate. In case of any queries, you're not able to join the lecture, you're not able to see the get the program source code and everything, we have these groups on both the channels. On Telegram we have a you can say a channel with around 12,000 subscribers. You can just join it and also ask your queries and get the source code and everything there. Also, we have multiple groups on WhatsApp. Because of the limit of WhatsApp, you can join any one of the group. Don't join all the groups. It get all the same information. Now, going below, you will see the schedule. Okay, so it is like from today onwards, you have 13th, right, which is currently live. You can just hit on watch on YouTube and it will take to your YouTube channel. You can mark the attendance here. So you can see you have to just hit on the 0 to 10. If you like the session, please give us a 10 rating so we know that yes, we did good. If you did not like something, you can just give us a little bit of like 8, 9 would work, and how much, like what is that we can improve upon. You can just mention it here and we'll surely improve it in the next session. Right? So this is how your, okay, just let me mark the attendance to show you how things work. And yes, if you're interested in 6 months full stack program, which gives you job guarantee with live training, projects, and everything, you can of course check that out. I'll talk about it in the letters. Yes. So now, once I've marked my attendance, it is showing attendance marked, and as you can see, my program progress is 20%. Right? For any queries regarding to this, you can, as I mentioned, join the Telegram and WhatsApp group. So the schedule for the whole program is given here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the lectures are given here. All the links are attached to this one particular button. You can just hit on that and it will take you to the YouTube lecture for that particular day. Right? So the link, if you have not registered, you can directly go using the link which is given in the chat by the team. You can just click on that link and register. Right? Now, speaking about the full stack program, to just give you a quick overview what we are having, right? If you're looking to get into a job, like once you complete this machine learning essential program and you think that yes, you want to go into a data science field and become a data scientist or machine learning engineer, we have this 6 months program which will hardly cost you 2000, like 3000 a month. 6 months program to get you ready for a good job into a good company with, you can say, packages starting from 5 lakhs is the minimum, that is depending on your skills, but 5 lakhs is the minimum which our students are getting if you're completing everything on time. And you can, on a max scale, you can also get up to 20, 22 lakhs which I've already given, and even on a, you can say, a rare case 26 lakhs package we have already given to a student. Right? We have exams, we have projects, we have mentoring, one-on-one mentoring, a lot of things going on there. So this is something, the black mark, right? If you're going into web development or data science, you can just check out this program. Now, let me just check any queries. The assignments will be there. Let me just show you any one program. Okay, just let me head over to some old program. Okay. Okay, the assignment is expired. It's too late. Just some recent. Let me try this. Okay, it is yet to happen. Mm, yeah, so assignment. So it will show like this, like assignment submission option will come here. All you have to do is just click on that and it will open up a pop-up on front of you that here submit the URL for the assignment. The question will be above that and it will hit submit. That's it, a very simple form kind of structure you have for assignment. Everything, if the class has assignment, it will be available here. If it is not there, that means that there is no assignment for that particular class. Okay, so I believe it is very simple for you to understand. This is just one portal for everything. For attendance, for certificate, everything will come here itself. Okay, so once you complete 50% of progress, there will be a button called generate certificate, which will automatically appear here, which you can use to download a certificate. Okay, so with that, let me just stop my screen and just introduce you to your trainer. So hi sir, hi Megasham sir, how are you?
Yeah, hi Prasad. Hi students coming up here. So how
Right,
is
so
going on?
we have around almost 300 students, right?
Cool,
Almost
cool.
300 students a year, and I guess Karthik, just refresh your button. Okay, Mohammed, do not download anything right now. The trainer will inform you which software to download. Maybe you might not need to download anything. Do not start away right now. Let him introduce. Let him take him very slow. Like we have 5 days. Okay, don't trust things. Our WhatsApp group is full. Don't worry. Just head on to our Telegram. Just put there, and you will get the new link. All our groups are running full. Literally, we are creating groups daily. Right, that is something we're facing. But okay. So, like, I'll just hand it over to Mega Sham sir. And yeah, over to you guys. And all the best. Let me see how many of you guys are completing, so I can actually see how many certificates have been sent out. And we have something crazy coming up for all the, you can say, interesting people who are like along with us for a long time, right? The class duration is 1 hour. So today, since I took the first 15 hours, I have still 1 minute. It will go till 9:15. But tomorrow onwards, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. 1 hour is the timing, right? Okay. So with that, I'll just drop off and yeah, over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Prasad here. Yes, students. So I think everyone has been clear with this, Prasad, what have been mentioned. Okay, so yeah, fine. So what are things you have been expecting? So like in when you have been starting out here. Okay, so like the point which we are going to learn about like Python and machine learning, so everything. So which is like a kind of boom. So even for demand wise, and even for the correspond like project views, everything. So we'll try to see one by one. So present make this like a cool way, and we'll try to start and see what are the points we can able to gather and what we are trying to expect and what further we can able to do it. Okay, so in the current market industry wise, so everything we'll try to check it out also. Okay, so fine. So I have like seen some of them. So okay, okay, so fine. So okay, so other things like kind of like hard copies and certificates and also like management will be trying to hold on. Yes, hello, hello, yes. Okay, so we have 5 days. Okay, so don't need to worry about things which have been mentioned out. We have 5 days. So one by one, like kind of introduction of Python, and further which we can able to relate to the libraries. Okay, so and even for the machine learning point of view, what are the libraries you can able to add it, and the market industry wise, how can able to forward it, so on, and for kind of deployment also. Okay, so no need to worry about those things. So make it cool and try to listen and try to make it focus, and you can note down the points which we are trying to learn. Of course we'll try to learn everything related to libraries also, so like numpy, pandas, which one all you're trying to mention out. Okay, so before entering I just want to know from where and all we have been coming from. So I'm from Hyderabad here. Okay, so many people have been even from other states and from other locations also. Okay, so I hope everyone has been safe and so on. Okay, so let's start it out here. Just give some thumbs up here. So let's see. So how many have been okay, and we'll just start with some few points. Yeah, cool, cool. So Ahmad Badat, so like Uttarakhand, Rajahmundry. Okay, so many from southern and northern states. Okay, even from outside locations of India. Okay, cool. Right. So okay. So like today's like in kind of introduction, right? So in a point of what is Python and comparing with other programming languages. Okay, so that's the main point, and then we'll try to have some kind of which particular software we are trying to use it and so on. Okay. So can you able to get some like why we are going with Python? Any point of it which you can able to relate? Okay, any ideas like why now present with the other programming language, why Python has been more preferred? Okay, so can any points here? So can you just raise it out? I'll just try to mention about it. Okay, easy to learn. So like Aditya is trying to mention, okay, easy to learn and make it like a small code. Okay. And other than that, anything point which has been related? Okay, so use case. Okay, so you're trying to mention about the kind of like in UI development or even in the particular field of connectivity. It's like an use case wise you're trying to mention easy to learn. Okay, so okay, so fine. So when I'm trying to compare with C, Java, and Python, because like kind of generation wise is trying to going on, right? So the languages, programming languages. So in that point of it, so you might have been learned already C, and now we are trying to see about Python. So which is more comfortable according to you? Either like C has been more comfortable for me, and maybe you might be specific like Python is now comfortable for me. So when you try to compare it, because both the sides like concept will be the same, only the way of writing will be different, right? So they will able to get that point, concept will be the same, right? So and the way of writing will be different when you try to compare it. And even powerful, okay, so which you have been mentioned, correct, yes. And even you can able to relate like the syntax wise also is very comfortable. Okay, and even have you heard this like there is some mediators between that from one programming language to other programming language? Any idea you have it? Have you heard of like mediators between them? Okay, so from a previous you might have been done like C programming. Okay, so like C programming, I want to convert into like an corresponding to Python. Okay, so have you heard of like what are the mediators have been present? Have you heard of? Okay, might be some. Okay, some I've been mentioning it out like in that view. Like, okay, so the thing is like we have like corresponding to C to Python. Yes, Python is there. Cython. Python is a kind of mediator where we can able to convert from one particular programming language to other view, but it's not like full way of with syntax and so on. So some changes we need to make it, and it might be like an debugging issues also. Okay, so that we can able to make as a converter. Okay, and even for the Java to Python also same format only. Okay, Jython we used to say Jython. Okay, there is also mediators. So why I'm trying to mention is like now in the current industry, so they previously had like C and Java. Totally, when you're trying to enter into the Python programming, they want to make some conversion. Okay, so which is a part of small development. Okay, so like a part of small development we have done. Even now if you try to see .NET, many have been heard of, right? So okay, like in we have like .NET programming view and so on. So now they are trying to make it like even for our machine learning, which is further which you are going to learn it. So they want to make it as an ML.NET, okay, instead of Python view. Okay, so there are some many different changes has been happening in the current industry also, and for the different domains. Okay, so got it. So this why I'm mentioning it out now preferable is like even those mediators, even in the current industry, when you're trying to get an interviews point of it, they are asking you like, have you heard of mediators and their conversions which you can able to do it on? Okay. Other than the like, we can able to select and for Python we have some version 3.9. Okay, these are like commonly used kind of questions also. Just I mentioned now. Okay, so like for Python we have some version. So I had like an old version of it. So how we can able to upgrade? Maybe that old code will be, I mean like old code programming which you have been done might not be added to the present updated code. So what happens? Okay, so there is any changes in, I mean that can able to upgrade to that, is there any option is present? Okay, so as you have been mentioning like Python 3.10. Okay, so like present version and so on. Okay, let's say like I had like Python 3.6. This is very old one, and even beyond that also. Okay, present when you're trying to apply in a particular project or whatever maybe. Okay, so some upgraded changes might be happen, right? So in that point of view, how we can able to upgrade, or how we can able to make that code work in that particular version. Okay, so this is not like few technical points. Okay, so no need to worry about like I am from non-technical and I am not able to get to the technical view. So no need to worry about those things. Okay, so just a point which has been present in industry. What are the things has been happening? I'm just trying to relate. Okay, and then we'll try to go on with the some like kind of understanding. Okay, so for with Python and who has been started by and so on. So already some have been known, some might not. Okay, so we'll try to get into that view. Okay, so shall we have some view here? Just a second. Let's share just a second view. Okay, so I hope my screen has been visible. Let me check it once. Okay, yeah, fine. So yeah, so I hope now it's been visible. Yes, cool. Fine. So the thing is like related to even we have been mentioning like how many times has been faster and so on Python compared to other programming. Even maybe like for mathematical view. So we had like R programming, so on. So many different kind of programming language which will be added to it. And the thing is like when you compare all the programming languages, each and every programming they'll be having their own point of view. Okay, so it might be C, Java, Python, and even upcoming programming language also. Some like kind of Go language and even from Google, and it's like kind of competition. Okay, so it's a kind of competition wise which we can able to make it like kind of mediators, what which have been mentioned now. Okay, so how to convert that into one programming to other programming also. Okay, so we need to make it like in one particular perfect programming or expert in one particular programming language itself. That's what we are trying to learn here. Okay, and further, view why we are trying to relate to upcoming view like for machine learning or data science. Okay, so other kind of viewpoint we'll try to see it out also. Okay, so so what are the things I'll be trying to explain? So I'll just try have been given here, and which some have been known about the history view of it Python, and with that Python, how we can able to try it out, and what are the softwares, and what are the IDEs we can able to mention. Okay, so I'll try to just make it as an kind of an easy way to understand, and if it is like a non-technical person also. Okay, so in that way I'll try to give it out here. Okay, so one thing. So compared to the C and Java, so Python is very much easier. So which already we have been mentioned of, and then it's like kind of scripting roles. Okay, so you might have been heard of scripting language and so on. Okay, and even like interpreters. Okay, so interpreters like the only thing is like in where we can able to write some code. Okay, so in a point of view to make our machine to understand, right? So it's how humans have been trying to learn the same thing. So machines have been trying to learn and understand. In that point of view, this interpreter language get as a corresponding outcome in a faster way. Okay, so in an easier process, that's what you mentioned, like 25 times faster, and that's so on. Okay, that is like this 25 is like is just a number only. Okay, so which is trying to get related. Okay, it's like much more performance in the point of coding and what and all like outcome which you're trying to get it. Okay, just if you want to print your name, okay, very simple one. If you want to print your name, some programming language will be handling a number of lines of code. Okay, and even for the other programming language, Java and other whatever maybe. So that lines of code will be heavy, where it might take time to get the deliverable outcome. Okay, so able to get that right. So now with Python, it's like lines of code will be reduced. That's what small, less amount of code, which you have been mentioned already, which I was trying to ask it. Okay, so the lines of code will be reduced, and we can able to make it more outcome deliverable in a faster way of it. Okay, that's why Python is now as a main important or even like a kind of a public demand view in the current industry also. Okay, so compared to other programming, but I don't mention like other programming is like totally down, and we're not taking on that particular programming language, so on. So it's a point of it like competitive world. Okay, so in that competitive world we are trying to do it here. Okay, so you can see here, even I've been given some differences. Okay, just you can able to see which have been already mentioned related to those points, either for the kind of computer performance task for programming which have been mentioned, and for the scripting view. Okay, so like how we can able to control the software applications and so on. Okay, so the scripting and programming. Okay, so some might have been known about this, like point of like differentiation between them, because some might be think like both have been the same, and when they're trying to explain that way. Okay, so they'll be thinking like both are in a similar format, so programming view and the scripting view. Okay, so programming is like kind of where we can able to make our system, I mean the computer, to work on this point of task and so on. Scripting is like where the software which we can able to get create, and we have control on that. So scripting view, even for any browsers and so on, so which you are trying to relate. Okay, that particular kind of script. Okay, so previously would have been heard of like JavaScripts and so on. Okay, how many have been heard of JavaScripts? Okay, so for browsers, when you're trying to click on this particular like refresh or whatever, maybe when you're trying to refresh the page, so everything will be related. Okay, like kind of script which make that particular application to run it. You can able to see in that way. Okay, so able to get some difference, right? So if anything, also I'll try to relate here. Okay, so any kind of examples. Okay, so now in this, according to history wise, many have been known like GVR. Okay, so GVR is like a short name. We used to use it out. Okay, like Guido van Rossum, we have it out, right? So he's like a guy who is from Netherlands. Okay, so he's the founder of main for Python. Okay, so have you heard like from where this Python name is being taken from? And I've been mentioned here itself. Okay, by seeing this, easily you can able to find out. Okay, so nothing but like from a particular circus. Actually, here he used to visit some kind of circus view. Okay, like kind of series you can able to say, like web series and so on. How we used to say it now, they are a kind of exhibition and so in that period of time. Okay, so 1990s and so on. In that period of time itself, so he used to go and visit that particular series. Okay, it's like kind of circus and so on. From that particular name. Okay, so that's why Python Flying Circus. From that name only, he's been fond of it, and now in the programming which he's been created, so he's taken the name as Python programming language. Okay, so some might be known, some might be mentioning like the Python means like kind of snake we are trying to get it and we are trying to work on and so on. Okay, so just I was trying to it. So it's nothing but like he's been found with that particular name and is trying to use it. Okay, so that's why the Python programming language name has been started by. Okay, this is just a kind of history. Okay, and even present view is like he's been working in Microsoft also now. Okay, when you try and say it now, it's like he's been present working in the Microsoft company itself. Okay, and moreover, when you try and relate, okay, so this Python can be in a software wise, and you try and see. Starting we had like kind of idle. Okay, so idle you might have been heard of. Okay, so like Python idle is to say, and then further it is been applicable for other kind of software applications, which kind of compilers and IDEs and many different softwares you can able to relate also. Okay, so that I'll try to show it out. No need to worry, and I'll show where to download that particular software and so on. An easy way to form it. Okay, and here's the guy. So just I want to show it out also. It have been viewed and now present working in Microsoft. So as I've been mentioned already. Okay, so might be thinking like already has been this particular programmer as a high level view, and now he's been again working with other company and so on. Okay, so like the thing is like a kind of work environment, so which he's been trying to it. So it's a kind of passion he had it. Okay, so in that way, that's why he's been still working and he's been engaged to that. Particular projects multiple and view and how we can able to implement and how to develop. So this kind of any particular person. Okay, so in that view. Okay, so we are trying to see in that way. Okay, so why it has been like why Python has been created. So already much of points which we have been related, so everything has been added here. Okay, so compared to other programming much faster way and so on. Okay, so which I've been repeating again. Okay, so same points which have been related to it. Okay, so have you heard any kind of other than the ideal which have been mentioned, kind of software applications and so on? So have you heard any other kind of softwares which maybe you might have been started, or maybe you might have been tried off, or maybe you have been using it out also now? Okay, so which particular kind of software is this being more popular wise? Can just give in the comments. Okay, so we'll try to see it out also, and even I'll try to mention which particular software to download, and further for upcoming you also I'll try to display it out here. Okay, and here like kind of scope. So it's not limited to for programming language in one particular domain itself. Okay, so many people like IT domain, so only for IT sectors, this programming language and all, we are trying to do it and so on. Even for banking sectors or healthcare field wise, and even for any manufacturing field or even any particular like financial field, so on. So it's trying to get improved. Okay, so for multiple domain wise, it's trying to get added to it here. Okay, so we like kind of digitalized way, right? So in that view, so we are trying to add in that particular programming where machines are being working for us. Okay, so that's why this programming language and all we are trying to learn. Okay, so machines have been working for us, and behind that, how it is being done. So we are be trying to add as a point of it. Okay, so I'll just show you a few softwares. Okay, so for now, maybe even some have been already mentioned the software's names. Okay, so okay, good. Okay, so I'll just try and see that. Okay, just a second. Okay, so have you heard this Anaconda Navigator? Just I'm trying to open it here. Okay, so have you heard this Anaconda Navigator software? Okay, fine. So it's like kind of a tool which is very much easier to use it for our kind of beginners, you can able to say, or even for professionals, you can able to mention. Okay, so this is like kind of very much easier way for graphical user interface. Okay, so some might have been already known about it, who have been in the current industry and so on. Some who have been known in the non-technical field or totally new, you can able to try it note down, or can just try it out also. So I'll try to show where you can able to download that particular software and so on. and how you can able to use it. So I'll try to explain that way also. Okay, so it's like a kind of, it's not only for Python, and even for other programming language like kind of R. Okay, maybe you might have been heard of also. So other kind of mathematical view for statistics they used to mention. So R programming language also. So both are having the same kind of compatibility and same kind of competitive kind of view. And the only thing is like difference, like kind of syntax will be different here. Okay, so have you heard about the tar? Okay, so I was trying to mention directly. So maybe some might have been heard and some might have been not heard. Okay, so but I was trying to mention. Okay, so you need to know about it. So that's the main thing. So we are trying to learn, right? So one by one, you and I'll be learning like new things tomorrow, or from like which has been upgrading so on. Okay, so like it's like kind of daily one by one. So like learning lessons for us. Okay, so this is one tool which we'll be using it out also, and the same tool which we'll be trying to let in online we have as a collab. Okay, we name it as a Google Collab itself. So this everyone have been known now. Okay, collaboratory we used to say. Okay, so in that point of it. So I'll just show the view here. Just a second. I'll just try to mention download and kind of multiple operating systems. Okay, so this particular software you can able to use it out. Okay, even for next sessions also, like which is mean for 5 days which you're trying to use it, you can able to use in this particular software itself. Okay, I'll just try to open it here. You can just see. And for multiple operating systems, it has been applicable and compatibility has been very much high. Okay, so for this programming, and as you have been mentioned, like for Python, you can see like the version is like 3.10 is like an updated view, but here it's trying to display like in 3.9. Okay, so able to see this one. Okay, so no need to worry about that. Present updated one is 3.1 and I'm learning like 3.9. Okay, so all the from the starting versions, what and all which is being present, will be trying to get display in 3.9, and maybe one or two kind of new functionalities and other kind of operatings which have been present. So we'll be trying to add it up here. Okay, so that will be trying to make it as an upgradation for your once you have been learned started point. Okay, so this is a view. Okay, so this is a present software which I'm trying to suggest you also, and even other softwares which have been available. I'll try to show it out. Okay, maybe it might have been known, might not, but I'll try to display it here. Okay, so in this, let's try to show another one. Have you heard of Spider and VS Code? Okay, so this is also a kind of software. Okay, so I mean a kind of tool where programming we can able to write and get that outcome. So only the UI part will be different. Okay, so maybe you might have been having some points like it's like one tool is enough, right? So why not? Why you are going with other kind of tools and so on? Okay, so the thing is like the way of usable things. Okay, the way of usability and way of displaying that corresponding outcome. So it differs. Okay, but all the kind of programming with Python and so other things and so on, outcome will be the same. But the way of usability or the UI part, which is like a front end, which to say, is like will be different here. Okay, there's only a point. Okay, so just I'm trying to mention it out here, and even VS Code also. This is also like in even in my companies also. Like many have been started with this VS Code and Spider. Okay, so most of the people have been trying to go with this because that the way of editing and other kind of things which for Python interpreters which have been mentioned out and so on, and even for compatibility for other kind of I mean for the operating system wise also. So it's like very much easier. Okay, so for that's why only you are trying to use this kind of tools which have been available in the market also. Okay, so beyond this, other tools even have been available, but not like kind of popularity. We can able to say it out also. Okay, so like Atom, we have it out, and even like PyCharm also like kind of popularity wise compared to VS Code and Spider, so it's like a little bit less. Okay, so for PyCharm and Atom, so these are not like other kind of tools which have been available too. Okay, so this will be okay. You can just try download this particular software. Okay, so this Anaconda distribution, which has been present, that you can able to download based on your operating system. Okay, so which we are going to use it for the upcoming days also. Okay, so before itself, I'm trying to mention it here. Okay, and once you have been downloaded, I'll try to show it. So how the view will be. and even we'll be trying to go with the Google Colab also. Okay, so both the ways we can able to try it out. Okay, so in that it's only the difference is like an online version. Okay, so this Google Colab totally which is from the working from the Google servers. Okay, so like kind of a notebook kind of thing. So where you can able to authorize multiple kind of drives, either GitHub now and even Google Drive. From there, you can able to use any particular information and so on. You can able to add a particular data. You can able to download that particular data. So many things. Okay, so we have that particular view also. Okay, so shall we go with this? Uh, okay, so I'll try to show it out once I've been. Okay, just a second. I'll show my view here. So present I'm using it like Linux. Okay, so you might have been using Windows. So how many have been using Windows? I think mostly many of them have been using Windows. I hope. Right. Yes. So many have been using Windows. Yeah, okay, fine. So and even Linux operating system because I'm using like Ubuntu. Okay, so it differs. Okay, like Ubuntu is only for the kind of like developers will be trying to use it much where for production and so on. Okay, so which have been related here. Okay, so fine. So let's go it further. Okay, so no need to worry about these things like here, which I'm trying to display. This is a command prompt. Okay, so once you have been download that particular tool, so it's not like I need to go with this command prompt and so on. So if you're using Windows directly from the start menu, of course, you can able to open your corresponding Anaconda Navigator or any particular tool, Spider, whatever maybe. Okay, through command prompt, like easy way, just as in a few seconds will be trying it displayed and so on. Okay, so for that case only we are trying to use it. Okay, so if you want to use it, the command which if you want to open that particular tool, okay, in that which we are using it out is nothing but Jupyter Notebook. Even I'll just try to show it first. Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so Jupyter Notebook. Have you heard this one? Jupyter Notebook. Okay, right. So it's like kind of for Python and even for R programming, like how any particular programming files. Okay, so we have that. So same in a particular Jupyter Notebook file, we are trying to store it. Okay, and then we are trying to execute and make this kind of visualization or any particular project development. And okay, so kind of interacting voice of user interface. Okay, so it will be very much easy also. Okay, so even in current companies also they are trying to ask it. So whether you're using this Jupyter Notebook or other particular tools and so on. Okay, so I'm trying to relate it here. Okay, so let me show it here through terminal. I'll try to display. Okay, so how it would be and so on, and even comparing with other things. Okay, so from command prompt. Okay, so here you can see like just a command Jupyter Notebook which have been displayed out also. Okay, so you can see, and when you're trying to exit, so it'll be trying to open that particular as a server. Okay, so it's like kind of local server. Okay, so which has been already running in my system. Okay, so and even for your any particular operating system, whatever maybe, so there also server will be learning when you're trying to open this particular application or tool wise. Okay, so just I've been type that command and now can see like, so it's trying to load. Actually it's trying to load and it'll be taking time to display it out also. Okay, so a kind of all the files or folders present in my system. Okay, so it will be trying to display in our local browser or like default browsers which has been available here. Okay, so in this particular notebook, I mean further for this particular tool wise, you can able to say we are going to learn with the Python concepts. Okay, so we'll be trying to have some kind of how we can able to write or how we can able to write the syntax and so on, and for the like libraries which have been mentioned, so those things will be trying to type up here. Okay, there's a main points I'm trying to relate. Okay, so once you have been download that and installation, maybe a little bit of 10 to 15 minutes and so on. So that where I've been showed that to download that software, right? So that you can able to download it. So installation is for 15 minutes, and then once you have been installed, just go to your start menu. Okay, so normally for Windows, I'm trying to mention. Okay, so go to your start menu and just just type it out on Anaconda Navigator. Okay, or even like just you can just type it out of Jupyter Notebook. Okay, because Anaconda Nav is like one software where multiple applications will be present also. Okay, so in that one of the applications like Jupyter Notebook. Okay, there is only difference we had. Okay, so just think like we had Microsoft Office, right? Okay, Microsoft Office contains like multiple kind of applications, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other things which have been present. So related to that, so this kind of one particular whole software tool. So this Anaconda Navigator, we have it out here in that Jupyter Notebook. We are trying to use it. Even other application also available, which for now we are not going to use it out here. Okay, so kind of analytics and related to other tool which have been mentioned for PyCharm, VS Code, even that will be available there. Okay, so you can just check it out, and I'll try to show it at the end of the view. So for this software, how it's trying to do it and so on. Okay, so let me show you the inside part of this where we used to write that code. Okay, so you are mentioning like we are going to write that code and so on. So let me show that where the availability of that view. Okay, so this folders, okay, which you are trying to see, these folders which have been available. Okay, so which have been like present in our local drive. Okay, local drive is nothing but our systems drive, right? Like which is being present in our like C drive or D drive and so on, which have been present in our system. Those files have been displayed here. Okay, so in that we can able to create our own file or folder also. So I'm just going into my documents. Okay, so which have been available all my files. Okay, so here you can see it might be any different files related to it. Okay, so everything will be trying to display for now. Okay, which have been present in my system. Okay, I'm just mentioning it out. This is present in my system only. Okay, so like similarly, when you are trying to open your documents, also the same format, what are the files present in your system will be trying to display here. Okay, so now I'll just try to open that particular file where Jupyter Notebook file we used to mention it out. Okay, so you can see in the right hand side part. Okay, so here you can see this. So here this point of it. So we have it like new option. Okay, so in this new option, we have like an kind of Python if you want to open that particular file. Okay, it might be like a text file, or it might be like a folder, or it might be like a terminal. So anything. Okay, and here you can see like multiple kind of environments. Okay, so it is being created by me already. Okay, multiple kind of environments. Environments like kind of one system where all the packages you are trying to store it. Okay, related to one particular project, let's say project one or project two or project three. Okay, so I'm trying to create one environment where related to those particular project, I'm trying to store it one by one related packages and so on. Okay, so for that case only already according to my in my company view, so which have been used. Okay, so all the environment files I'm trying to get displayed here. Okay, so no need to worry about this. Even I'll try to show how we can able to create an environment, which will be much easier, like usefulness for you when you're trying to enter into the industry itself. Okay, so maybe when you have been programming fully, so already might have been known that environment, how to create and so on. No need to worry about. So I'll try to display it out also. So present now in new Python 3. Okay, so for you might be displaying like only Python 3. Okay, it's because this is all for Conda and weather POC and so on. This which has been created by me. Okay, so for my correspond like project view, I've been created out also. Okay, so let's go with this Python 3 here. Let me click on this. Okay, kind of new file which will be created here. So it's like kind of cells or this lines will be created. Okay, so this how the looking format. Okay, so have you seen this already? Like, and here you can see this is where we used to write the code and we used to get that outcome below itself. Okay, that's what previous you might have been mentioned like compilers. Okay, so have you mentioned right? So compilers and all, we don't have compilers here in this Python program. The main thing is like where you write that code below itself, we are trying to get that outcome. Whether there is any error or not, we are not checking out here. Okay, that is the only difference we have. Because of C programming or for Java programming, they have that compilers. Right. Okay. So you agree with that. Same thing now in Python, they don't have the direct compiler view. So that's why we mentioned as an interpreters. Okay, so direct interpreting that outcome. If there is any error in the code which you're trying to write it, we'll get that as an error view will be trying to display here. Okay, that is the only difference we have it. Okay, so here where the cursor has been blinking, we write that code and get the outcome and so on. And even kind of document view also can able to get created. Okay, so like document means we can able to say like I want to give some heading and explain about that project and write the code and what is the outcome it would be. I want to explain here. So in that kind of document view in this Jupyter file, we can able to create also. Okay, so this is the tool which is being present in our local system. Okay, so through Anaconda Navigator, we have been because which have been already installed. So you can also able to install. Once again, I'll try to show it out. And from there, I've been open this file. Okay, so where you can able to write a code and get the outcome view also. Same format, I'll show it out in our collab. Okay, so I'll show it here. Google Colab, we have it. Okay, so it's not like related to only for Python so on. It will be trying to get expanded to other programming view also. So I'll get displayed here. Okay, so you need to sign up in the correspond like just kind of your mails. Okay, so we need to sign up here. So in Google Colab, and if already have been signed in, it will be taken up in the further view. Okay, so here you can see. So this is a kind of front view where we'll be trying to display. Okay, so this is a front view we have it. Okay, and in the right hand side part we have the sign up options. Okay, so previous already have been signed in, that's why it's trying to display particular which have been signed the account and so on. Okay, so in the right hand side part we have that sign option also. Okay, so to get started with this same format, so go to file, new notebook. So let's try to get started here. So new notebook. You can see that visibility of that will be similar to the point which previous the tool which locally which have been shown. Okay, the Jupyter notebook, local Jupyter notebook. Compared to that, the same Google Colab also will be similar one. You can see it here now. So it's the same thing. Okay, so because like many have been getting like points, so here we are trying to use it like Google Colab, and there we are trying to use it like Anaconda through Jupyter Notebook. So some might be getting confused with that. Okay, only difference like this online version where everything will be stored in our drive. I mean Google Drive will be trying to get stored. Okay, and will be hand connectivity with the Google servers also. Okay, that is the only difference we have to. So based on that, now in our local collab which have been shown. Okay, so this part which have been shown now, here we don't have any connectivity with the online servers. Okay, so directly even you can able to disconnect your internet view and then you can able to work on this. Okay, work on a particular programming whatever maybe. The outcome will be trying to get displayed also. So there is no any connectivity in the like even to online connectivity. It is not been present in the local Jupyter notebook. That is the only difference we have it out. Okay, so this uh, the main view like an UI point of it. So which we have this both as a tool wise in our local as well as for the online wise here. Okay, so this is a Jupyter notebook which is very familiar and maybe you can able to say like in popular wise which is being demand for the beginners and even for professionals also. Okay, so similar to even for the Spider, which have been shown already, Spider and VS Code. Okay, so it is being much popular view also. Right. So how many have been like fond of that? Only I'll be going with this. What do you say for VS Code, or I'll be going with the Spider, or already if you have been heard of like Jupyter Notebook. So if you have been familiar, okay, so which you have been known. So how many have been? Let's see. So how many have been fond with that and so on. Let me check it out here. Okay, fine. So here, as I've been seeing, so many have been like loves because like VS Code, like beautiful themes. Okay, like based on the themes wise, you're trying to do the topic. Okay, fine. Like okay, VS Code and so on, like familiar with Jupyter. Cool. Right, very much view fine. So shall we let's start with few points related to applying with Python. Okay, so let's say it here. Okay, let me go with both the sides of, local wise and even with applying with the point with the collab also. Okay, so both side I'll try display. Okay, so normally how we can able to write, how we can able to print any particular command. Okay, so have you heard of any how to print out any command view, or how to print any particular sentence, whatever may be. So, and comparing with previous programming language which have been mentioned, so how we can able to apply it out also. Okay, so many have been on in a particular ID field and so on, so which have been known. So I tried to display it here. So how can you able to relate? Yes, of course. So now this is like an one popular ID. Okay, so ID means like when you're trying to type this command. Okay, so it is trying to help us. Okay, so when I'm trying to type, let's say you can see here, I'm just trying to type print. Okay, so I'm trying to type print here. So in this point of it, so it will be normally it will be trying to display. So in this point of it, it's like if any kind of error you are trying to do it, so it is trying to display related functions wise. It will be help us that we mentioned as an IDE. Okay, so I'll just write it here. So IDE is nothing but integrated development environment. Integrated development environment. Meaning is like where it helps us if for a kind of syntax view, or to display that command in a easier way, where it will be trying to give it as an helping point of it. So that's why you're trying to mention it as an IDE here. Okay, so it's like available for all the tools. Okay, so like it's not like only for a few tools has been available and so on. So IDE has been available for all tools based on their plugins and based on their availability functionalities and so on. In the point of it, we are trying to see. Okay, so so I was trying to mention like to print any particular information. Okay, so which is being passed. So an easier way to start it for now. So here print. Okay, so how we are trying to write it. So print we have it, and then we used to write some command. Okay, so let's say like we are trying to learn like Python and machine learning. Okay, so for now like 5 days we are trying to learn it, right? So in that phases for now. So machine learning. Okay, so what and all information you're trying to pass it? Okay, so in print and so on, what and all information you're trying to give it out here. So you'll be trying to display it as an outcome. And mandatory is like we are trying to pass it in quotations. Okay, so that is mandatory view. It's like a sentence if you're trying to write it. It might be a lengthy sentence. And one more thing I want to mention. Is there any limit that in print, okay, so in print, is there any limit that only maybe like only 100 characters should be allowed, or 200 characters? Any idea? Okay, so you can able to mention that. So is there any limit for it? Only for these things we have to. Let's see how many have been able to answer this. Okay, is there any limit for this to apply it and so on? Okay, many have been mentioning as an kind of no limits. Okay, I'll just try to zoom it out also. Yeah. Okay, so yes, so it's like there is no limits. Okay, so in this where you're writing some sentence or any particular information. Okay, so there is no any limits to that. Okay, so we'll be trying it in number of sentence or in number of information you can able to write out also. So inside this print. Okay, so to run this, just click on this kind of play button we have out, right? So just click on that. Okay, so you'll be trying to execute where it will be connecting to the Google servers. Okay, so here you can see like connecting we have it. Okay, so you'll be trying to get connected to the Google server and trying to execute and get that outcome back. Okay, so only for starting point of it is taking time because like initialization is being done. Once it is being connected, it'll be coming back and get that outcome view. So for this programming. Okay, so you can see like so print, Python and machine learning. Okay, so is the meaning we have been given. So outcome is like Python and machine learning. So what and all you are writing it here in quotations. It might be single quote or it might be double quotes. Okay, so what and all you're trying to do it here, it will be print as it is here. Okay, so now you can see, so very much easier, like in one single line you're trying to explain and get that corresponding outcome also. Okay, so that's what we mentioned as a Python, easy to understand or easy to learn. Okay, and easy to get that outcome faster also. Okay, so let's say here I'll try to make a small kind of storage. Okay, so normally we used to say like kind of variables. Okay, have you heard this variables? What's the meaning of it? And I just already mentioned about that. So what's the meaning of that variables? Yes, so can you just mention it out? So what's the meaning of that variables? Any idea? Okay, so like kind of storage, right? Yes, so kind of storage we are trying to it, like how in mathematical we are trying to add it. Okay, so in a point like we used to make it like x equal to some value, I'm trying to store it. Later on I want to use that value also. Okay, so and even for y equal to some value, and later on I want to use that value. So these are all like which we have been learned in mathematical way, that we are trying to apply it here as a storage point. We name it as a variables, and those storage point we name as a memory location also. Have you heard that memory locations? Right, so normally for any particular view, okay, so where in our brains we used to have some storage, right? The same thing in the corresponding programming view, like package wise, they have like an own storage where it's named as in memory locations, and that each and every they have some IDs also. Okay, some numbers. Okay, so kind of IDs means like kind of numbers. Okay, so don't think in a different way. Okay, kind of numbers which you can able to store it out. Okay, so now I'll try to mention how we can able to store it, and even further like kind of rules they have it, and further even we can able to add to many in-depth of mathematical concepts also. Okay, that's what, because even for our machine learning also we had some mathematical points. Okay, like kind of statistics we are trying to relate, or kind of analytics also can able to mention. That's why we are trying to learn in depth view from a point of it from the scratch itself. Okay, so let's say like we'll try to go with the kind of term names itself. Okay, instead of going like X and Y, which is being commonly used to one, we'll try to go with the term names. Okay, so data, it's kind of variable. Okay, some storage which we are going to do it. Okay, so and we are giving some value. Okay, so some kind of value we are trying to store it here. So this value 90 will be stored into that particular variable name data. All right. Okay, so once it has been stored, so how can able to get that outcome? Okay, so okay, let's say like I am trying to execute that. Okay, just now I've been executed that. Okay, so data equal to 90. So how can I able to get that outcome if I want to print that 90 actually? Can you able to specify it if you have been known? Let's see how many have an idea on this one. Yeah, so of course, so print of course will be trying to use it. Okay, so we are trying to mention like print, you are trying to see. So here you can see like some kind of viewable points or kind of description is trying to show. This is the ID part, okay. So which previously I was trying to mention, that ID part, you can see this. Meaning of like, is trying to explain about what is this functionality and so on, like helpful way. Okay, that's what we mentioned, that integrated development environment here. Okay, so now in this, which have been mentioned, data. Okay, so previous have been mentioned like in the print functionality, I need to give the quotations. Okay, but for here in this print data, I didn't mention the quotations. I mean the double quotes I was trying to do it right. So I didn't specify it. Okay, so any reasonable point is there why we are not going with that quotations here? So for this data, why we are not applying that quotations to that particular data here? So any specific reason is there? Any idea on this? Okay, so the thing is like kind of variable names, right? So which you're trying to use it. So they have some storage already. So if I try to give the quotations, what happens is that information which you have been given, that will be printed out. Okay, so that information which you have been given, that will be printed out here. You can see the difference. So data will be trying to print out. So I'm just trying to execute here. That's the main difference. Storage point, and we have it as a where the data which you have been given here in quotations is this kind of information you're trying to pass it. So that will be printed out as it is. It might be either single quote or it might be like double quotes, whatever maybe. We'll be trying it printed out as it is here. Okay, so what's the difference? Okay, so even like this is like very simple kind of common points. Okay, so when you're trying to work on like lengthy kind of coding also, these also is like single points of points which you can able to relate. Like easy mistakes might happen. Okay, instead of giving like that variable name might have been given in quotations, not going to get that outcome, and you'll be checking out where the error has been gone wrong. Okay, so it's not like kind of basic, which it will be related to main advanced concept of it also. Okay, so let me specify one thing also here. Let's say, okay, so previous I've been given data, so it is having some value. Okay, so plus, okay, try to get some other value. So what happens here? And one more thing I want to mention. So like whether when you try to execute, you'll be getting some outcome, or it'll be just giving as in just it'll be executing part will be there and there is no outcome. Just I'm trying to give some options whether there'll be some outcome or just will be executed. If there is outcome, what will be the outcome? You can just mention. Let's see how many have been trying to mention it out, or any errors, or maybe let's see. These are just a very basic. Okay, so like kind of from basic to advanced when you're trying to relate. Okay, so but this point is very important also, which will be added to the more advanced kind of techniques. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so some have been mentioning it out. Okay, fine, cool. Okay, so 100. So I'm trying to get executed. So one point I want to mention, like I didn't use print function. Okay, so is like any like is like mandatory for this year, like trying to give the print, because I was mentioning like to print something, I'm trying to use that print functionality, but I didn't use that print and it's trying to display. Okay, so the thing is like data already we have 90, right? So and then plus 10. Okay, so it's trying to get that outcome as 100. Okay, so the outcome has been 100. Yes, good. So we'll be trying to display. So let's say here I'm trying to give it as, let's see this one. I'm able to get this. Okay, so just I'm trying to mention it out here. Let's see how many have been trying to get it. Okay, so what will be the outcome for this? Of course, there will be some outcome. Okay. Yeah, fine. So the thing is like, okay, so some have been mentioning we have some like an related outcome for this and so on. Okay. Okay. And previous one, it's like an, okay, so I'll try to compare the previous and the present view, which I'm trying to read. Okay. So here in this like data, which already have been stored. Okay. So as 90. Okay, and now I've been given as plus 10. Normally in mathematical view is to do it outright, so with any value plus something I'll be trying to get that corresponding outcome and so on, the same view. So 90 already we have and plus 10, so 100. But now in this, okay, so some value have been given. Okay, so some value is 10 and plus files. Okay, so it's kind of word way I'm trying to use it. Okay, so let me see. So I'm trying to get executed, so I'm getting some outcome here as an error view. So why it's trying to get some error? So is there any particular point I want to relate, or if we have been known why we are trying to get error when you're trying to do in this way? Both the values point of it, okay, like 90 and 10 and so on. The same thing. I just want to add both the kind of like 10 files. I want this display as 10 files. Why I'm trying to get an error? Any specific reason if you have been known? Okay, some have been trying to answer this. Okay, so okay, like some have been mentioned like 100 files. Okay, actually it's like 10 actually. Okay, so might be this might be mistake. So like 10 files have been given. Okay, so it's like any related. Okay, so I'll try to mention here. So what's the reason of getting the terror is like? So for any kind of values, I mean numerical values and so on, there is some name behind it. Okay, so we have some name for it, and here the 10, it's kind of data type. Okay, so what kind of data type it is? Whether it's like kind of a round of value or it's a kind of decimal value and so on. There is some behind data type names have been available in programming language. It's common for all the programming. It's not like only for Python and so on. Other programming languages also the same way. Okay, so and similar to that, files which have been passed. Okay, I mean this the word files I'm trying to mention. Okay, so I've been given in quotations, right? Okay, that also has some data type name. So we call it as strings. So both are not similar. Okay, so one is like kind of numerical value and one is like kind of word which we have been passed out here. Okay, so both are different. That's why it's not able to combine and get as an outcome here. That's why I can see that error view also it's unsupported. Okay, so unsupported wise integer and strings. Okay, so for the any I'll just write out. So any numerical value, okay, any numerical value, I mean without decimal. Okay, so I'll just write it out. So without a decimal we called as an integers. Okay, that's what it's trying to get displayed as int. Okay, so int we called as an integers actually without decimal. Okay, if it is with decimal they name it another way. Okay, so any numerical value with decimal we called as a float. Okay, so this is not like a kind of names or types of it which has been available already. Okay, so in our corresponding programming language itself. For other programming also same kind of names only we are trying to use it out. Okay, so similarly I'll try to relate. Okay, so any word or sentences or even like in characters you can able to say. Okay, so in quotes, it's a mandatory within quotations, a single quotation or double quotations. So that we used to say it as a strings. What and all you're trying to do it in quotes. Okay, that will be taken as a strings only. So both are different. Okay, so integers and strings which have been passed, both are different. That's why we got that error issue. Okay, so we can able to combine. Okay, so we can able to combine. So if both are strings, then you can able to combine. Okay, so here you can see that. So print. Okay, now I think you can get that outcome. So let's see how many are trying to display. Okay, so now you can see that what you have been answering for that outcome. So this is a one which you have been trying to get expected here. So 10 files, right? So both are strings. What and all you are trying to give in quotes. Okay, so it might be numerical value or sentences, okay, or word or single character. Even here also. Let's write it. So numerical or sentences characters in quotes. That is mandatory in quotes. That will be taken as a string format. Okay. So previous it was totally different when you're trying to combine between them. So one is like integers and another one is like an corresponding as strings. That's why you got as an error, not able to combine both things. But now both are strings. Okay. So both have been strings. Now I can able to combine it out also. Okay, so this is like kind of data types. Okay, so we used to mention as multiple data types actually, data types which have been present, kind of names where and all you can able to use this kind of data types is like, let's say we have some Excel sheet. Okay, so we have some Excel sheet. So in a point of like healthcare field, okay, so because even in a project wise, it might be healthcare, banking domains, and so on. So each and every column will be having like a multiple kind of information present. It might be numerical, or it might be like a kind of strings which we have been seeing, okay, or it might be like kind of float values. Okay, so to identify, we can able to know that this is a kind of numerical and without decimal and so on. But how systems will be trying to get known? That's why the data type's name has been taken, and in that they have been differentiated that. So in that numerical without decimal, we name it as an integer. Then system will be, I mean, like kind of when you're trying to do that programming, so machine will be able to understand. Okay, so this particular, let's say like age column we have it. Okay, so in that age column, like kind of only integer values without decimals. Okay, and if let's say like for healthcare, we are trying to use it like kind of a decimal cholesterol value. Cholesterol will be like kind of decimal values. So then we can able to relate. Okay, so with 4.5, so it's like in float values. So it will be trying to understand. Okay, so in that we are trying to get differentiated. So that's why I was mentioning out where and all we are trying to use it. So the kind of use case, whatever maybe. Okay, so in that point of it, this differentiation has been much required also. So if you want to combine both the columns, it might be like kind of numerical and might be strings. You're not able to combine. Or if you want to display in a combined format. So there is some changes to happen. Okay, so kind of casting actually, combining or casting. Okay, so combining or casting is to say it out also. So these kind of things will be trying to get learned in depth also. So along with some kind of libraries and so on, so we'll be trying to add up to that. Okay, so related to this Python itself. Okay, so now we got the points related to that, like previous what we got that outcome and why we got that error, and now presently how we are trying it combined. Okay, so mainly related to the point of data. Okay, so point of information I'm trying to mention here. Okay, so each and every column, if you want to combine, there is some kind of view how to combine it out. So one of the view is like through data types, which we can able to relate out also. Two different data types you cannot able to combine. So some point of it, there is some changes to happen. So that will be trying to learn it further also. Okay, so it's like a basic view. There's a simple format how we are trying to relate the data types here. Okay, so any doubts here? So you can just mention out. Okay, so like kind of concepts of data types which have been related. Yes, we can able to convert it out also. So if you want to see like that conversion which I've been mentioning out, right? So you have been asking for conversion. Okay, I'll just try to show it out. This is the casting actually. That conversion we named as a casting also. Okay, so we can able to convert here. So string of 10 plus files will be the same outcome. You can see it here. It will be the same outcome. So XPR is nothing but string. Okay, so we are trying to convert that value 10. Okay, so in a string format, and then we are trying to add it to the corresponding word or sentences. Okay, this was the thing you have been expecting, right? So you have been asking. So for that conversion, how it would be and so on. Okay, so able to get this. Okay, so able to understand, right? Okay, just a kind of point which like a basic things which we have been started. Okay, so some have been newly and we have been trying it out and so on. Okay, so you can try this one also, and further like kind of assignments will try get related. Okay, so where we can able to improvise and we can able to get as an a basic as a foundation, and you can able to get in depth perfect view also. Okay, so in that point of it, I'll try this. Okay, and okay, I'll just show it once again. The which some have been mentioned out about the software where. Okay, so here this is Anaconda distribution. Okay, so try to download it just by clicking on that based on your operating systems. Okay, so try to download it here, and once it has been downloaded, when you try to get installed, just a kind of simple format of where software install we try to do it. Okay, so based on the operating system itself. Okay, so that you can able to do it all. Okay, and then go on with the Jupyter notebook. Okay, so which have been mentioned already. So this is how when you launch that application, so it'll be like a front end view will be showing a displayed here. Okay, and that in that we can able to open our files. Okay, so find so how many have been got like few points related to this, like how the I mean like main is like the tool wise. Okay, so which I've been personally I've been using like Jupyter notebook and VS Code. Okay, so which have been very much fond, and there's some have been mentioned as themes also. Okay, so when you try and use it like themes wise, or but I'll be liking with the outcome. Okay, so like visualization outcome will be very much easier and so on. So that point of it, so I've been related here. Okay, Fine. So try to mark your attendance. Okay. So if you have been done here, so uh, just go to that particular link. So which has been shared. So already in our when you try and use at YouTube. So below we have that view. So there you can able to where Prasad already have been mentioned that, right. So try to mark your attendance so daily basis, and based on that for registration and even for assignments which you have been sharing, and for the certification also. Okay, so I hope like everyone had it, and okay, so for today's it's like just a starting point, right? So we for the second view will be having the kind of assignments also. Okay, so we'll be having some assignments view from there, which will be going to, and we'll try to check it out. Okay, so we'll have that view. Okay, so I hope like it was like good session for you, and able to understand, and further we'll be trying to add those points. Okay, it's like kind of continuity. Okay, so don't leave the continuity for upcoming sessions also. Okay, so thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you, Rohit.